Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining me from. Thank y'all so much for stopping by the live stream again. What's up, Jacob Tanjay, the NTZ crew? I don't know if Michael Beecher Life is here. I believe he's on vacation, but I appreciate what you guys do for the channel. Any old heads, the Emperor Angelfish, that's Martin right there. Thank you, brother, for the interview. The Poor Man's Passport Guide. You getting closer that 1,000 mark, man. More power to you, brother. What's up, Gerald Wilkins? He said he's an old head, but not a bald head yet. Any new viewers and subscribers join us today, thank y'all so much and welcome. And anybody checking in on the replay, you know, there's still some advantages to living in the Philippines. And that's what we're going to talk about. But remember, this is your live stream. So whatever you want to talk about, I promise, if I see it over here, we'll talk about it. I see about 10% of the comments, by the way, over here. I try to get to them all if I can. Certainly the ones that are, asking questions or raising good points. But the peso is 56.85 today. It's unbelievable. Again, the next week is the Fiesta, the Pentaflores Festival in San Carlos City. If you're here, anywhere in this area, man, you have to come here for that weekend, Friday, Saturday, and then it culminates on Sunday. Parades, concerts, parties. I'm co-sponsoring a bodybuilding contest for women and men. That's going to be interesting. I'm going to make a video out of that. Again, thank you, Martin, for that interview yesterday. I'm trying to give y'all a different perspective, some different viewpoints. I know a lot of people say, well, I couldn't understand him. Well, I understood him very well. I listened back through the interview. You just have to listen closely. I see that a lot of people are talking about, check the logic. Thanks for that super sticker. The video I made on poverty. I wasn't putting the Philippines down, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, anybody who watched that video knows what I was doing. But let me stop right here and say this. I give the 360, okay? I talk about what's going on around me. I wrote it down so I wouldn't get this wrong. I don't need to hype up the Philippines. The Philippines speaks for itself. It is what it is. And I don't think it's appropriate for me to criticize this place harshly, because everything that I see here, I've seen everywhere I've been. But I'm a vlogger. I'm going to talk about what's around me, not just everything that people always want to talk about. It's not going to do you any good. But I'm just letting you know what's over here. I mean, yeah, poverty's everywhere. Some guy says, oh, it's over here in America. Yeah, but it's not as in your face it is in America. And they got a good way of hiding it over there. They'll warehouse people in these projects and different things like that. Section 8, welfare, AFDC, and all of that. And I said, you have no idea what's going on over here. Guess what he said? Yes, I do. I'm chatting with a woman over there. Listen, okay. But anyway, no matter what you say about the Philippines, no matter what you hear other people say or what you think of this place, there's a reason people are flocking over here. They're flocking over here now. A guy sent me a link from the U.S. Embassy when they did their Zoom community forum, and there's twice as many Americans over here as Koreans and Japanese combined. No, there's more Americans here right now than the Japanese and Koreans combined. And we just want to talk about some of the things that make this place what it is, the tourist attraction or the retirement destination that it is. Because it's not all bad. Check the Logic says, you're the man who got me watching YouTube regularly. Seeing you build a house showed me the benefits. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. See, and I'm going to talk about that. That's one of the advantages of living over here. But let's start off with something that we never talk about, because all the other advantages are here. We're not going to talk about the stuff we always talk about. Oh, the cost of living is cheaper, the tropical weather, the natural beauty, we're genuinely welcomed here and all that, right? Let's talk about some stuff that we normally don't talk about, like this, like the low crime rate among foreigners in the Philippines. See, our safety over here doesn't get the credit that it deserves. And I have to say bravo to the Filipino government, police department, and to the people here. Man, we're safe over here, man, than you would, more than you would expect, more than the reputation is out there. Because if you listen to the reputation, man, you'll be afraid to come over here. And then on that Zoom call, it said that crime is down 10% across the board in the Philippines, period. So that's one of the reasons that people stay here, man. Larry J. Fly says, Calvin, I'll be visiting the Philippines next month for the first time. I would check out Manila, Angeles City, and maybe Cebu. That's a good plan you got. But you're going to be safe. You know, as long as you mind your own business. Remember this, we don't have a cure or a solution for being at the wrong place at the wrong time. But for the most part, you're going to be safe. I love LaChana says, I might actually be too safe over there. I tend to let my guard down unless I'm in Manila. Yeah, that's easy to do, man. You know, but that's kudos to the Filipinos. You know, we're still a novelty over here. This is another reason why people flock here. Now, I know Bacala Wheel says, oh, we're not a novelty to the city girls. Yeah, we're a novelty all over this place. Foreigners matter over here. And we enjoy a status here that we don't at home. You know, it's a powerful force that draws us to the Philippines and keeps us here. If you don't think I'm joking, man, I'm going to tell you something. We get special treatment here. I don't care what anybody tells you. I'm going on record. We get special treatment here. I've taken whole suitcases inside of malls over here, man, and the people don't even bother me. Try that in America. They're liable to call a SWAT on your ass. You know, it's just that they roll out the brightest red carpet for you over here. You know, you really are Keith Richards, like Mo said. That's an advantage, man, you know, because doors are open to you over here that aren't open to regular people here. You know, that's appealing. That's alluring to a lot of people. I'm gonna give you an example, okay? You remember I interviewed Martin. What happened to Martin in Thailand won't happen here in the Philippines. Okay, first of all, if the police pull you over, if you get pulled over at a stop, and they're not going to ask you for your passport, they're just going to ask you for ID. You can show them the ACR card. Or you know, one time, this is a true story. I was on the bus, and they stopped the bus. This is during COVID, and they asked me for my ID. I gave them my Kentucky driver's license. That passed, you know, that was enough. But they certainly don't check your passport and your stamps and stuff like that. Know where you go. See, he was telling me, and we're not comparing Thailand and the Philippines, okay, guys? Don't come on here with that, okay? But he told me, he said, Calvin, you know, sometimes when you go to the hotel and you check in, they ask for your passport, and they see where you stayed, you've overstayed, they'll turn you in. They don't do that over here. They don't go to that extreme over here. You know, I don't care if they catch you or not. The Philippines will allow you to pay that overstay fee. and stay over here. They're not going to deport you unless it's something real egregious. I mean, you really done something serious. They're not going to blacklist you and all that. But that would have never happened in the Philippines because, you know, we have a certain status over here. We're literally like celebrities over here. We're not novelties, guys. That's an advantage. I like that. I enjoy a freedom here that's incomparable. I've never experienced it anywhere else. Warrior Class Media says, can you film production shows over there, legit TV type shows? I'm not sure. What do you mean? Can I go in the studio and film theirs, or can you do a legit TV type show? You would probably need some type of license, guys, to do all that. You know, he said, crush the like button. So yeah, the Philippines are more foreigner friendly than a lot of countries that you're going to go to. And see, that's a good thing. You know, I'm glad I'm welcome here. You know, no matter what Filipinos think about me, it's not hate, guys. It's not hate. And man, you know, having dealt with that my whole entire life, to come to a place where I can take that damn weight off my shoulder and throw it in the damn garbage. Man, you can't put a price on that. So yeah, that's very attractive. And that's the reason why a lot of people come here and they stay here. Yeah, you need a certain type of license, sir, for that. Here's something that we don't talk a whole lot about. Business opportunities over here, guys. Hey, thanks, the Emperor Angelfish, for that super sticker. This is Martin, man. He's a cool guy. I'm going to have him on the panel and just have him. He's just so excited, man. He wants to tell his story, and that, you know, kind of got in the way of our interview, but it was just the first interview he's ever done. But I love your story, man. You got so much to tell, and I'm going to let you tell it because we only scratched the surface. That your time in IDC, that Immigration Detention Center, we need to go into detail with that. You know, we need to know that no matter where you are, Philippines, Thailand, that you can get caught up on, you know, on a humble and end up in a situation like him. It caused him a lot of trouble, man. You know, he didn't go into detail like he did in our conversation. He went through it, man. He says, I'm liking the sound of the Philippines more and more, brother. Yeah, well, see, now that since you're barred, you're banned from Thailand for 4 more years, hell, this would be a good, you know, stopping off point until you can get back over there. Gerald Wilkins said 16 dead and at least 50 to 60 injured right now as a killer with an AR-style weapon still on the loose in Lewiston, Maine. Come on, man, this is crazy. Didn't I just say how safe we are over here? That's one of the things that we don't get enough credit for over here. The Philippines doesn't get enough credit for keeping foreigners safe over here. And I'll be damn 16 days. I mean, what's going on over there really, man? It's the kind of news that I don't like getting, man. You know, I don't really read the newspapers over there. And, you know, only thing I get is Yahoo. If it ain't on Yahoo and I don't click on it, I don't, it's not going to get inside my head. But this is inside my head now. You know, people are going crazy, man. Like, what's going on over there? Wow. He said, Rick Hart says, my sister used to live in Lewiston. Harold Wax said, 22 dead. 3 crime scenes in Maine. Oh, man, you know. See, this is another reason, Dan, to get the hell away from that. Remember, I was talking about, you know, you don't even have to be doing anything over there. You go to where they probably was at a Walmart or something, and some entitled softy over there, probably mad because Donald Trump uh, is losing in the polls or some old crazy stuff like that. It's just something stupid. The reason they did it, there's no reason to do that. But yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. Craig Anthony said that's why I'm loving living in Spain. Yeah. As many guns as it is over here in the Philippines, you don't see those mass shootings like that over here. I'm not saying that it's utopia or anything. You just don't see it. And I don't know why. It's not a gun problem. It's a people problem over there. You can shut down all the gun legislation you want. There's all those legal guns. I guarantee you the weapon that this person used was legal. But we don't want to confront that. He said Donald Trump is not losing, brother. He's gaining more support, especially from black. I wouldn't give a damn about Donald Trump or anything going on over there. I'm saying that these are the reasons people use, man, to go out and kill people. And if you think Donald Trump is a damn solution over there, then put him in office. He's already been in there for 4 years. What happened? We're worse off than ever. None of them presidents are going to solve anything. Man, get off my channel with that foolishness. Give a damn about Donald Trump. Gives a damn. You dirty puppy says the beauty of the Philippines and living here is the lack of racism. Well, like I said, no matter what Filipinos think of me, they don't hate me. And, that's a start right there. I feel safe. The freedom I have here is incomparable. I've never experienced it before. I enjoy a status here of a celebrity. If I go home today, I'm going to be arguing with somebody in my family. It's not even going to be my friends. It's going to be somebody in my family. Where you been? Why haven't you come back home? Just questioning everything. Like, shut up. I'm 60 years old. I do what the hell I want to do. But it's one of the advantages of living over here. They give a damn about Donald Trump, whether he's winning or not. What does his victory do for you, DG? Did it make your life better? That you over here on a Philippine live stream, you're looking outside the United States. You're trying to escape like the rest of us. Arcton64 says, it's absolutely a people problem. Sorry, guys. He says, our culture has eroded here in America. It is. It has. I have to agree with you, man. We've thrown common sense out the window. The morals and values are helter-skelter. I was just talking about this the other day. And it's like they want us to idolize these celebrities and athletes and stuff. They want to tell you who to follow, and it's crazy over there, man. But when you're in the middle of it, you can't see it. What they say, you can't see the forest for the trees. That's what it is over there right now. They're all ruining. Imagine, okay, they were talking about, Biden's over there and he wants money for Israel and Ukraine, right? And I'd be damned if they didn't have Mitch McConnell, how about the Republicans want some recessions. Sit your old ass down, man. You can't even remember what day it is. Ron said, yep, our politics is ugly. He said, thank goodness Calvin keeps it to the real human level. Yeah, this is what's missing over there. We're taught to believe in everything but ourselves over there. So we're following the followers, You know, we're being led by misleaders. Everything's out of whack over there. And if you don't get in line and you think like everybody else and be a damn fool like everybody else, then you're going to be ostracized. Yeah, Mitch McTurtle. Yeah, get him out of there. But yeah, that's really a shame, man. I mean, it breaks my heart, man. You know, life is sacred to me. But let's get back on the stream, man. That old negative stuff, man, just pisses me off, man. But this, we're supposed to be the greatest country in the world. That's supposed to be civilization over there. And it's happening over and over and over and over. One thing a lot of people don't talk about is the business opportunities over here. I'm not in the business. And if you get into business over here, make sure you have the right visa and everything like that. But for business-minded people with the right ideas, the Philippines, man, I tell you all the time, it's like a new frontier. It's like coming over here, you're in a new frontier. The growth here is just unlimited, man. It's like, you know, United States, Thailand, all that, they're bursting at the seams. But the Philippines is open, man, to new ideas, new industry, a lot of business opportunities over here. You know, I always talk about real estate because that's something that I want to get Maryland set up in. If it's something as simple as building these tiny homes like this. So I'm going to do an experiment. I'm going to try to help her. We've got an 85 square meter lot over there. We're going to build a house and we're going to sell it. You know, we're going to see if this experiment will work. We're going to, you know, offer it mainly to foreigners because we own the land. So if you buy the house, then you can we'll lease the land to you. Or if you buy it for your Filipina girlfriend, it's her lot, you know, but the houses that we're thinking about building are going to be for $1 million and less. You know, so what's $1 million right now? It'll be about $17,000 or something. And you have a real nice house and lot. I'm going to try that with her because there's a lot of things you can do over here. We got what's up, Hood Jay? We've got a friend in Siquijor Island that sent us a message that there's a lot over there for sale, right on the main road. Guess how much they want for it? You're not going to believe it. 150,000 pesos. Somebody's probably already bought it already. But I'm saying the opportunities here, right in San Juan, the tourist area. You could put you a 3-room, you could put you like a 3-room, you know, Airbnb or something on there, man, and reap the profits, guys. Hood Jay said, hey, Cal, this is AKA True Israelite. Like old dude says, you can't handle the truth. Keep the real talk going on. I'm trying, man. Hey, Willie Cook, thanks for that super sticker. Yeah, 17,556. Who wouldn't do that instead of spending for these expensive condominiums and stuff? And by the way, the land is going to be yours. I'm going to do it. You know, I just got to it's a couple of things I got to get out of the way before we get started. It's going to be a nice house, man. And it's going to be $1 million and less. Those are all houses like that. And I'm going to put it out there. Hey, thank you, you dirty puppy, for that super chat. He said business opportunities are amazing. See, he knows. He's been over here, man, for like 40 years. He said a 7-year plan with land and many mall rentals will pay for itself for decades. It will. And this is what we're going to do. Our idea is to build these tiny homes, but they're not really going to be tiny. They're going to be anywhere from 20 to 30 square meters with everything, you know, all the amenities, hot and cold water, you know, everything. And it's yours, you know, just for 17,000, then you just walk away. I mean, and that's it. So if something goes on, look what you have, 17,000. Because I was just watching, I think his name is Old Kano. You know, I was just because he's trying to sell his house. He built a humongous house here, and now he's trying to sell it. I wish him luck because that's what it's going to take for somebody to buy that big thing. Because now he realized I don't need a house this big. I want something more simple. And then when I see this is the universe, man. When I had already put the idea out there to Maryland, and then I run across his video. It's just confirmation that I'm on the right track. Because he said, I just want a simple place for me and my wife, something she can maintain when I'm no longer around. He said, you know, because I'm not going to live forever. But he said, I don't want to live forever. And he made a lot of sense, but he built just a humongous house. Now he's trying to sell it. He says it's too big. He said it's 3 gigantic bedrooms, easily could be 6. Okay. I don't know, man. Guys aren't, you know, you don't have to do that over here. I'm going to give you another route. I'm going to give you another option. I trust you. And I said it's going to be up to $1 million. It could be 750, 550. It just depends on how much it costs, you know, the labor and all of that. I mean, we're in it to earn, you know, a profit, but we're going to do it. And then, you know, it's going to be an experiment. A big dog said, USA is still the land of opportunity. GDP per capita crushes any Asian country. Yeah, but what good is that going to do if you're dead, if you're stressed out all the time? And who's taking advantage of all that? See, that's theory that you're putting out there. Unless you're doing it, we don't want to hear about it. Big dog, I'm sorry. You know, we're living in the real world. Don't come on here, nobody, I'm not picking on you, but anybody talking about theory. If you've done it, then come on, tell us how you did it. Help us. Okay? Yeah, at the cost of what? Our soul? Let me hit this. Yeah, at the cost of what? Our soul? Absolutely. You know. But yeah, guys, let's hold on with these theories. You know, because people get that. I've shown you what's possible. It's not a theory. We built this house. So it's not like, oh, I'm sitting back here talking about something I haven't done. You know, we can play that game, big dog, all day long. You know, it's not going to help anybody on here. Most of the people who watch me, man, we're grunts. We're blue collar people, really. We don't even know what GDP stands for. We got to Google that. It says, I love the child said, you dirty puppy. I see my wife's family owns land in the province. However, she would like to purchase city property and rent it. Well, that's a great, you know, idea. Anything to deal with real estate over here. The real estate market here is just exploding. You see it. People are paying 8, 9, 10, 15, 20, 25 million for these condominiums over here. And they're going up like they're going out of style. So yeah, business opportunities. I wouldn't come over here and open up a barbecue place. I wouldn't do that. But there's a lot of business opportunities for business-minded people with the right ideas. Because you're in a society that's becoming more and more consumers. And so they're always needing something. Hey, Yusuf, good morning. Well, I guess it's good evening where you are. Yeah, there's still a lot of advantages to living in the Philippines. I like the peace and serenity here, man, that nobody ever talks about. You know, we call it boring over there in the West, man. It's called peace. Yeah, they talk about the roosters and all the dogs, man, but it's not the sirens and police sirens and all of that. Here it is, 22 people, they're innocent people. It's not like he took that gun and fighting the bad guys, whoever they are. They're killing innocent people. That's a coward. You got an AK-47 or whatever it is, and we don't have nothing. Look at the guy in Las Vegas that killed all those people. Is there a bigger coward? And then kills himself. He's shooting down on just it's not even vulnerable, man. It's like he's shooting fish in a barrel with these big, unbelievable weapons he's got. Yeah, he said roosters, dogs, and tricycles. I'd rather deal with that though than what they're going through over there. Like I said, people say what they want to say about the Philippines, but I'd rather deal with what I have to deal with over here than anything over there right now. I mean, America's really lost its footing, man. It's a slippery slope. Joe Wilkins said the guy killed people in a bowling alley in a restaurant. Yeah, he's a tough guy. He should have put on his he should have took his weapon and went to Ukraine and helped the Ukrainians. But he's a coward. He should have, help the damn Russians, one or the other. Don't kill innocent people. Shoot at some people who can shoot back. Hey, Stallions over 60, thanks for that super chat. He said, hey, Cal, I met a gentleman who has a call center in the Philippines. It could be an opportunity for someone. Yeah, that's a good business opportunity. Now you got to get the business. You got to have the clients. But that's big business over here. That BPO business, that's TJ's line of work. I could see him. I know for sure he's got enough experience and expertise. He could probably start one. But then you're going to need the clients and all of that. Over here, when you're talking about building these small homes, what's it going to take? It's not going to take that much. I guarantee you, okay, if the engineer, and remember the engineer who built my house, Rock Engineer, okay, he's smart though, okay, he's smart. Imagine he's in it for a profit. He didn't build this house just to build it. So if he charged me $1 million pesos, how much did he pay for it? How much did it cost for him to build this house? See, I'm working on that principle. But remember, this house, I promise you, you can't build this house for $1 million pesos right now. Our house is 2 years old. We built it during the lockdowns and the pandemic was raging. Now that everything's opened up, man, I seen a house here, believe it or not. Okay, it was, I want to say the house, it was 80 square meter lot, and the house just about took the whole lot. They wanted 1.8 million for it. Tommy McCaskill says, yo, Cal, can you help me out? I overstayed in the Philippines due to COVID. What steps do I take? Well, first of all, you got to go somewhere. You got to find out how much you owe. How long did you overstay? And that's what I would do. I would find out how much I owe. And then, I would work on paying that. finding some kind of way to pay that, because every day that you stay over makes it worse. Now, remember, they did give people like the Philippines, it gave people like a break during COVID. But I don't understand. The Philippines has been open almost 2 years, man. Why didn't you? What's your excuse for that? I mean, guys, the overstay fees over here, they're so cheap. See, people don't talk about that a lot, the way it should be talked about. The immigration over here, the 3 years that you can stay here in a row, provided you pay the fees, leave for 1 day, come back and start all over again. It's unbelievable. But Tommy, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I don't understand why you haven't been paying your fees, because they're not that expensive. I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, you want to talk to JRC Consultancy. Send them an email, JRC Consultancy. Tell them your situation, and they'll tell you what you owe. I mean, they're on it, man. They're about as good of a service as you can have. And, it's a consultation service. They'll tell you what you owe and how you can go about doing it. But I want to say it's $1,000 a year, 1,000 US per year, if I'm not mistaken, Tommy. But I would get on that every day that you overstay, because it can get to a point where it's overkill, and then they're going to say, oh, we're going to deport you and we're going to blacklist you. And you don't want that, because using COVID as an excuse, that's not a strong excuse right now. They're going to tell you, the Philippines don't play that. You better dot your I's and cross your T's over here. They're going to tell you, well, we've been open for two years. Over here, the president went on television and said, we're lifting all COVID restrictions. So he essentially said the COVID is over. That was months ago. So yeah, you need to get on that as soon as possible, brother. Hey, Matthew Dean, thanks for that super chat. He said, I'm blessed to be born in America. My girl has a degree and can't even put a roof over her head. I got my degree and can afford to travel the world. Yeah, but you don't have anything to do with that. That's why we have to stay humble. That's why we have to practice some humility, because you had nothing to do with that. Okay? And, that's a privilege. And it's not free. That's why we're imperialists. And that's why we're at war with we got bases every damn where and all that. We can talk about that all day. Yeah. I'm thankful that I was born in America at the time I was born. Well, when I came of age, not the time I was born, because when I was born in 1963, black people couldn't vote. We wasn't even second-class citizens. We were third-class citizens. We were under apartheid at that time. But when I came of age and looked around, I was like, whoo. I'm so glad I was born over here, because having been born in America in 1800, you wouldn't be saying that, Matthew Dean. So that's what keeps me humble. But I get what you're saying. So that's why I used to practice some humility. It doesn't give you the right to go out and kill innocent people either. Hey, thanks, Paul Stanley, for the super chat. He said, have you been to Kent City? What do you think about it? Please, pros and cons. Kent City. Is that over here? I've never heard of Kent City. Are you spelling that correctly, Paul? I never heard of that. I love the child says it depends on the state you lived in at the time. Calvin, my black mother voted in New Jersey without any problem. The South was a different story. In 1963, I mean, they were giving us some crazy stuff. I was in Kentucky, which is like, I don't even know if it's the Mason-Dixon line, or it's above or below the Mason-Dixon line, but you know, they gave my parents hell trying to vote. How many bubbles in a bar soap? And you're gonna laugh, but that was a real question that you just questions that Einstein couldn't answer. And if you could answer those, you could vote. Yeah, well, you know, consider we were the Voting Rights Act came in 1965, 64, 65. But yeah, consider herself fortunate. Okay. Yeah, Kentucky's in a strange area. But I don't think she was being treated any better in New Jersey. I love LaChine. And if she was the exception, she was certainly the exception. Okay. So let's don't get started about, oh, well, they treated my mother good. Yeah. Well, what about all the other millions of blacks that wasn't treated good? But y'all get my drift, man. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I'm happy to be born in America at the time I was born, when I became of age. You know, who's to say that they're not going to say that? Well, look at Singapore. Imagine kids being born in Singapore now, and people who come of age in Singapore now, they went, oh man, I was glad I was born over here in Singapore. Look at Singapore 50 years ago and see if they were saying that same thing. They weren't. I mean, it looked, you know, it was the Philippines was ahead of Singapore 50 years ago. Kevin Hill says, great analogy, Cal. Times have changed. Yeah, they have. Some things remain the same. What's the difference? I'll tell you, people. Be a good human being or try your best to be one. Thank you. That's really what makes the difference. Hey, RC and Jax, thanks for that super chat. He said, what's up, Cal? He said, no credit system there, as you know. So one risk to consider if you're renting them. Target market, locals or foreigners. I'm considering the same in Palawan. Love and respect to you and yours. Thank you. Yeah, I'm targeting foreigners, really, because we can see the value in that. We can see it's the same sort of thinking that I had when I built this house. You know, if I'm not here, Maryland can maintain this house. And, you know, it's going to save me a ton of money in rent. I mean, who wouldn't spend $10,000 for a house and lot and be done with it for your time in the Philippines? Or you can come back and forth, guys. Imagine that. You spend 10, 12, 15,000 for a house. It's yours. You don't even have to live here. But whenever you come to the Philippines, you're going to have a place to stay. And remember, it's yours. The value is always going to go up here. It's really a no-brainer, man. Yeah, he said Kentucky's below but we don't consider ourselves the South, really. Although, you know, if you listen to our slang, we have one of the poorest counties in all the United States. But we don't ride horses and with straw hats and chew on corncob pipes and all that stuff. Well, some of us do. But yeah, I'm dealing with foreigners. That's that's our target market. See? Because I want to try to help people, man. I want to give them another option. You know, see, by us owning that lot, we can easily lease it over to you if that's what you want to do. Since, you know, because a lot of people, you know, they're worried about, well, I can't own the land. Well, you can lease it. And Maryland couldn't sell that for 25 years. And then we'll put an option on there for you to lease it for another 25 years. See, we're working together, guys. That's what we have to do. And the Filipino economy is going to benefit from that because we're going to put people to work. This is an idea I got in my mind. The man, old Kano, he just confirmed it. He came over here and built a big monstrosity of a McMansion. And now he realizes it's too big for him and his wife and son. He wants a simple place, like what I'm going to be building for people. So when his wife, when he's no longer around, his wife can maintain it. Does that make sense? Because you're wasting your money. But you don't have to listen to me. This guy's older than me. He's probably been here longer than me. If he's got a big ass house like that, you know, they can't maintain these houses, guys, that y'all building over here. They're going to sell them, okay, when you're gone, because you're going to be dead, and you're going to be dead a long time. Cooper's Tide Adventure says, go to the Philippines and meet your perfect woman. I would not trade my wife. Philippine women are the best. Well, see, you're right at my next, if you don't think I'm playing, okay, where it says, women at the end of the day. It's still an advantage to live over here because of the women, man. Listen, only my mother has treated me better. She's the only woman that's ever treated me better than what women treat me over here. Now, why is that? Why do they treat me so good? Is it because I'm taking care of them? I don't know, but that's a fact. Okay, so you can say whatever you want to say. You know, we talk about, I'll let y'all on the inside. I want to tell you the games that's being played. But I've never said that these weren't good women over here. I always said the opposite. I said there's plenty of good women. There's actually plenty of good women on those dating sites. If you know what you're doing, if you take your time. But yeah, women at the end of the day. Okay? You see some of these stunners over here that these guys have, but you know, they know good and well deep down in their bones they couldn't get it anywhere else but here. You know, you can't dig that up anywhere else. I mean, I told you the other day, I'm working out, I'm on the elliptical machine. I look down the hotel across. This guy had to be mid to late 50s. He comes out with a young woman. She had to be about 21 or 22. You know, it's whatever it is, if it's the novelty, if it's real love, it's here. Okay. And when you get a good woman over here, it's about as good as it gets. You know, there's a reason why people are still flocking to the Philippines. A lot of it has to do with some of the things we're talking about. All the other stuff, yeah, it's cheaper here. Yeah, the cost of living is cheaper here. The tropical weather, the natural beauty, you're genuinely welcome, and all the other stuff, right? But these other things that we never talk about, look at the status that you have over here. I mean, you're elevated, man. You're elevated 2 or 3 or 4 levels once you come over here. The minute you get off the plane, I mean, when you first come over here, you're uncomfortable with it. You're embarrassed by it. But after a while, you get used to it. You're like, man, I like this. Because when you go back home, they treat you like shit back home, you know. But over here, you're like, man, that's Sir Calvin. And, you know, like I said, I took a whole suitcase with everything I had in it to the mall. He just waved me through. See, we enjoy privileges here that we couldn't even think about enjoying over there. So yeah, there's still advantages here, man. I'm going to give you the 360. I'm going to tell you what's going on around me. I'm a vlogger. Okay, I'm not going to, you know, some guy, see, because I read the comments in other people's videos. He was telling the vlogger, he said, y'all need to just come over there and talk about your life and you know, what's going on in your life and leave everything else alone. I'm like, yeah, right. This is the crazy stuff that is going on over there. People are so miserable. How you gonna tell us what to talk about? Sit your ass down. He said, Craig Andy says, I wouldn't be embarrassed. I was okay with it here in Spain. Yeah. I mean, when you first, you're not used to it. It's uncomfortable. You're stared at like you're a celebrity. You start appreciating what celebrities go through and famous people go through because you're going to be right in their shoes. Because Will said we're not novelties anymore. I bear to differ, brother. We are. Big Dog says I had a Korean girl who treated me well 25 years ago. Yeah, that's going on over here. No matter what the reason is, I'm not going to stop her and say, hey, why are you treating me so well? I'm just going to sit back and enjoy it. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. Marilyn treats me as well as any woman's ever treated me. I almost messed that up, because you take it for granted sometimes. But they go out of their way, man. They bend over backwards, man. I just never received the type of treatment that I do over here when it comes to women. Darren knows I'm not lying. Anybody that's got a real woman over here will tell you I'm not lying. And that keeps us over here or keeps us coming back over here. It's an advantage. Y'all heard what Martin said yesterday in the interview. I said, hey, how old was the Thai lady you was with? He said 37. So that means she was 32 when he met her. Attractive lady. Go on my community page. That last picture is her. I said, what are your prospects of meeting a beautiful woman like that who's going to treat you that way in your country? Zero. He's dating 52, 53-year-old big Shirley's over there. That's what he said. Yeah, they're nice, but they're big. And he said it's more of a reality check. He said because he's fat and ugly. So, I guess he has to date fat and ugly over there, see? So, yeah, you can live our fantasies over here. Hey, excuse me. Hey, Happy Man 6920 said, what's up, Shannon and Sunshine Shoulders crew? I'm late, but I'm here. Keep on prepping us with your knowledge, Shan. It will help those of us listening coming in the future. Yeah, I'm going to give you the 360, man. Here's what I wrote down here. I talk about what's going on around me. I don't need to hype up the Philippines, guys. It speaks for itself. The Philippines is what it is. But I don't think it's appropriate of me to criticize it too harshly. It's not going to do any good anyway. I mean, I'm a visitor and stuff like that because there's no utopia. And everything that I've seen over here, I've seen everywhere I've been. And I've been around the world, man. Remember, I was in the Navy, man. We went around the world. Okay, I didn't come to the Philippines, but I'm here now. So I've seen a lot. And everything I see over here, I've seen everywhere. He said they keep you warm in the winter. He said our American passport is gold. If you can't find it in USA, go elsewhere. See, this is what I'm saying. Now you talking. See, now you talking. This is why I tell you that the Earth is approximately 197 million square miles. About 58 million square miles of that is land. And here you are. Well, let me keep it on me. Louisville, Kentucky, 334 square miles. Let that sink in, man, and show you why, you need to get out here more. You don't have to stay out here, but you need to get out here more. What you're looking for probably is out here somewhere because we're going around in circles, switching wives, doing that wife swap, girlfriend swap, trading cars, trading jobs. It's nothing new until you start coming out here. And then you're going to be like, wow, you're going to have your head blown off over here. You're going to experience things that that was only a dream before to you. I know I have. In my 14, almost 15 years, I'm living a dream, man. It's the reason why I really don't want to go home. It's like, because I know I'm going to wake up over there. I'm going to wake up and be sick, man. I'm going to be, just like, man, where in the world am I? Everybody's complaining. Mike Dorseyville says, a good Filipino woman are really appreciative of everything, all you've done. What do you say? For them, so in return, they treat you like a king. Yeah, the key words right here for Mike, and he knows what he's talking about. A good Filipino woman. Most of us have good women over here. Okay? Most of us have good women over here. But some people, they're in too much of a hurry and they don't get a good woman. Okay, they end up with something else. And then they'll paint all Filipino women with that. I'm telling you now, if you come over here and you get the right woman, you're going to hit the jackpot. And then if you don't like the Philippines, like do what Darren did. Take her to Thailand. Take her back to the United States. Whatever you're going to do. But that's one of the advantages of being in the Philippines. Hey, Darren, thank you, man, for that super chat. He said, thank you, Cal, for giving me my start on YouTube. Have a good meal for you and Marilyn on me, brother. We love you, brother. Hey, thank you, Darren, man. I love you back. And, I just pushed you out there, man. I told you, I said, man, you're going to have something that people want to listen to. You got that type of personality. You got the experience. You got stories. I just tell it. Hell, remember, I can send them over there, but you got to keep them. And to your credit, man, you've been able to do that. So continue success, brother. And we're coming over there. It may not be November. More likely it's going to be December because I think I'm going to meet W Secrets of Success over there too. He's going to be there. Paul Stanley says, have you been to New Clark City? I haven't. But let me finish. He said, what do you think about it? Please give pros and cons. Okay, there was a couple that came here that stayed in the guest house. And they were there. They said that it's just like being in America, he said. Now, I'm not going to talk about it because I've never experienced it. I'm just telling you what they said. And I believe 2 expats traveling, I think if you go on their channel, they're no longer vlogging, but their channel's still up. 2 expats traveling, or 2 traveling expats. And I think they did a video on New Clark City. But from what this couple was saying, he said it's just like being in America. But thanks, Paul, for that super chat. Hey, Happy Man 6920, thanks for that super chat. He said, praises to all my military brothers and sisters. 1st Infantry Division was my home for 23 years. Wow. Now, what is that RLTW? See, I'm over here in the Philippines, man. I'm out of that rat race. I don't know what all that means. But I was in the Navy, USS John F. Kennedy, CV-67. We did a med cruise. And we were in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, when the Marines were blown up over there in Beirut. And we steamed for 2 weeks straight without stopping. And we just sat off the coast and just bombed the hell out of them. That's when, remember that Robert Goodman, remember the pilot? They shot his plane down. Well, I think he was the bombardier or the navigator in the plane. The other officer, the other pilot who was actually flying the plane, they killed him. But Robert Goodman, they took him hostage. And Jesse Jackson went over there and got him released. He was on my ship, man. I used to see him all the time, before that and after. I guess they debriefed him because, believe it or not, it wasn't long, man. He was back on that ship. I couldn't believe it. I thought after going through all that traumatic experience that they would retire him. No, they didn't retire him. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Hey, Matthew Dean said, America isn't the greatest country in the world. Men and women can't even get along. You got big women thinking they're too good for Cheesecake Factory. You know, I love America. I just love life, man. You know, I put on my Facebook page last year and a memory came back up. It was actually 2 years ago. It said, being alive is the cake. Everything else is the icing, man. No matter where I go, I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna create my happiness. There's no utopia, man. You got to make your own utopia. But yeah, you're right. I'm disappointed. It breaks my heart, man. You know, when you grow up thinking one thing, and then when you get outside, see, you don't really see how crazy it is, Matthew. You only think you see how crazy America is. Wait till you get outside. Wait till you've been outside of America for 5 years like I have, and you looking in there now. And I mean, it's so disappointing, man. So crazy. Like, how could I have stayed there that long? And you'll say, I see what happened to me. You know, something's going on, but you know what they say? What's insanity? Doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. We keep electing these same people over and over. We keep falling for the same tricks over and over. We're not standing up over there. It says we the people in order to form a more perfect union. But we're not doing it. We're letting a handful of people run the world. It's time that we stop, man. It's time to say, hey, look, either do what we say or we're going to vote you out of there. I mean, really, man, you know, Craig Anthony said, Cal, you can have PTSD and stay in the military. In our day, they would have put us out. Yeah. But, you know, I enjoyed my time. You know, I didn't think I would enjoy my time on the ship as well as I did. The longest I was out to sea was 73 days. But one of the best things about being on a ship like that is the camaraderie. I mean, you really get tight with people. Not everybody. I mean, you form friendships. A guy is watching her now. He remembered me from the ship. You know, imagine that was 40 years ago. He said, I remember you. Kevin Hill said, shout out to all the service men and women. But yeah, I saw that thing about, see, that's news now because a woman didn't want to go. Okay, guess what I would have did? Okay, bye. See you later. I'd have called an Uber for her, and that would have been it. It wouldn't have been worldwide news. It's worldwide news over there. How many videos have been made about that? And I'm saying, how many times can you watch a video about that? See, this is me. This is where I have to jump off, you know, the train. How many videos can you watch of them talking about this lady who said that, who refused to go to the Cheesecake Factory on a date? Like, okay, so what? Move on. You know, okay, lady, you know. But this is why I left, because I'm not putting up with that over there. So imagine if she's acting like that. Then, okay, the only time you're going to get anything special or something like that is going to be on your birthday or Christmas. Well, hell, Christmas is every day over here. That's what Martin said. He says Christmas every day in Thailand. Well, I'm just going to say it's Christmas every day over here in the Philippines for me. Oh, well, you know, that's big news over there. Okay. So here's what's going to happen now. The man goes crazy in Maine, Lewiston, Maine, kills all those innocent people, wounds all those innocent people. You're going to see these same talking heads politicians, I just want to kick them in their behind. See, you can see it clearly when you're outside of the United States. They're going to get on them pulpits talking about gun legislation again. Guys, don't buy that. It's not the guns. Like, really, guys? I mean, somebody was supposed to say that, oh, we got to get rid of these guns. Yeah, Willie Cook says, I remember when they bombed those barracks, 24 years U.S. Navy and retired. I'll be in the Philippines for the month of November. Yeah, man. I was in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. We were having the time of our lives, man. The next thing you know, we steamed straight there. I forgot where we were supposed to go. Rio was actually our first stop on our med cruise. I can't remember the schedule because, those schedules are tentative anyway. I'm lucky. I'm fortunate we were able to go to Brazil. And we steamed for 2 weeks straight and set off the coast, man. Thank you for your service, brother. I wish I had the insight and the vision, but I was just too wild and I couldn't see the big picture, man. Imagine how incredible of a opportunity that is where you can put in, when I was in the service, you could put in 20 years and be retired. He put in 24. And then, because a lot of my friends stayed in, whether it was the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and then they got out, and most of them went to the post office or something like that. Ford Motor Company or something like that. Hey, Uncle Bug, he said, morning, Calvin. Good to see you kicking butt. No mucking around and saying how it is. No bullshit. Have a good day. Thank you. But yeah, there's a lot of advantages, man. There's still a lot of advantages come to the Philippines. You hear a lot of stuff because there's so many channels out here now. But we don't even scratch the surface of the people over here. When you get on the ground and start talking to people, you'll see there's a reason why people are coming over here in droves now, especially Americans. We love it over here. We have like a special relationship with the Philippines. Jacob Tanjay said that's double dipping. Yeah, and that's smart, man. I mean, it's really brilliant for real. Imagine you can retire about 38, then do another 20 years at the post office or something. You're 58, you're done. I mean, if you're able to survive all that, because remember back in those days, hell, it was the post office. Every time you look up, somebody at the post office is going crazy, shooting people. Matthew Dean says, look up the Black Pill and you will see why there are a lot of mass shootings. There's something going on, man. Okay. I don't know what that's about, but something's going on. Wow. He says some can have 15 years, but will have less pension. He said, I put in 20. I mean, it's just a great deal, when you think about that. See, my son's brother, he's 16 now. They've been in the United States, I think in March it'll be 2 years. And I asked his mother, which is my ex, I said, well, is he thinking about going into the service? She said, no, he don't think about the service right now. All he wants to do is play games. She said, because I talked to him about it. And I said, well, let it simmer in his mind because he's Filipino. He's 100% Filipino. Imagine if he did 20 years and got his pension, what the pension would be now, 20 years from now, come back over here, he'd be rich. And a lot of Filipinos did that. See, I served with Filipinos, man. When I think back on it, I'm like, why didn't I ever come to the Philippines? I mean, I served, I was a cook, even though I never really cooked. I was a cargo. I was good with numbers. But hell, half the division, half the company was Filipinos. back in them days. And a lot of them would, when they retired, they came back over here. They didn't stay over there. He said, brother, military pensions are gone now. Well, what do you get? Don't you get something when you retire? What do you get? I thought you do. I thought you get something. He said, that's what my cousin did, double dip, 26 years in the Navy and 15 in the post office. Yeah, man, and then come to a place like the Philippines, but, you know, you hear so much, you got these channels going around now, the Philippines exposed and all that. It's easy to do videos like that. There's no utopia, but there's a reason people come over to steal an advantage. The first thing I put down here was the low crime rate among foreigners. The Philippines doesn't get the credit. We certainly don't talk about it the way we should. How safe we are over here. I mean, it's just never talked about, really. We take it for granted. I think whoever's responsible for that, Filipino government, police, military, the citizens, I have to, tip my hat to them, man, because we're safe here, man, for the most part. But remember, there's no solution for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But we never talk about that. We always talk about how cheap it is. Oh, the weather, the beaches, and blah, 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 right? But the fact that I can walk here, I can leave at my house at 9 o'clock at night, walk up here to the store, a bar, wherever, get me something and walk back and won't nobody bother me. And we're still a novelty over here, guys. Don't think you're not. Some people believe we're not a novelty over here. Take it from me, man. You're still a celebrity over here. And if you don't believe it, come on over here and tell me that I'm lying. The minute you get off the plane, you're elevated 4 or 5 levels than what you are at home. Some people, we can't handle the attention because they're going to stare at you, you're going to be uncomfortable with it first, but after you get used to it, you're going to be like, I like this, man. It's nice. It's better than being treated like a bum over there. Foreigners matter over here. We still, our Keith Richards over here. What did I put? I said, it's a powerful force that draws me in here and it keeps us here. When you're treated like that, when you're put on a pedestal. Believe it or not, the Philippines is more foreigner friendly than a lot of countries over here in Southeast Asia. What happened to Martin will never happen here, because if the police stop you at a police stop, they're not going to ask you for your passport, and if they do, they're not going to sit there and look for your stamp and all that. They're looking and see if it's you. They're not trying to do immigration's job and all that stuff. They're not going to do it. They'll take your ACR card. I gave them my license one time. They're just not going to do it. They're going to give you the benefit of the doubt. And if you overstay, no matter how long, as long as you haven't committed some type of crime and your government's not looking for you, they'll let you pay that and be on with your business. Okay? But yeah, it would have never happened over here. See, police are different over here. No matter what people say, police are different here, man. They actually protect and serve me. The only time I've ever been stopped by police, guess what? I'm shaking in my boots. I come from America, man. When they flash them lights on your ass, you get scared and you haven't done nothing. I'm riding my bike. They flashing like that crazy horn. I pull over. They just wanted to know who I was and took a picture with me and said, hey, if you ever have a complaint, if they singing karaoke too loud, or you having problems with your neighbor, he gave me his card. I was like, woo, But yeah, it's different over here. Yeah, he said foreign lives matter. Yeah, but they do. They're, you can say what you want about these other places around here in Southeast Asia, but when it comes to being foreigner friendly, man, the Philippines is at the top. Now you can come up with your own reasons why they do it and this and that, but they do it. Okay. Another thing is business. It's a lot of business opportunities here. When you come to the Philippines, it's like coming in on the ground floor. I mean, it's just so wide open. That's why they call it a developing country. It's not developed yet. So if you come over here with the right businessman, with the right business plan, the right ideas, I mean, there is no limit of what you can do over here. And there's people who are doing it over here. They're coming up with some great ideas that serve the public, that serve the government, and they're getting rich, really. But you can't sit around and just look at all the videos that's going to give you all the good stuff, and then look at the videos that's going to give you all the bad stuff. It's usually a mix, but there's a reason, like I said, in 2019, 8 million people came here. It's a lot of people. Alpino, I said, Cal, that poverty video wasn't no joke. It says, kind of hit home. It's really busted over there in that aspect. Damn sad. Yeah, but see, what I was talking about how are you going to deal with it, Alpino? I wasn't putting the Philippines down, because everything I've seen here, I've seen everywhere I've ever been. But the poverty is up close and personal here, especially if you're like me, if you live I live among the locals. I see it every single day. The little boy's got a growth on his eyes. Like, I mean, it just, every time I see him, it's like, can I do something? Is his parents going to take him to the doctor? What is that? Is it just going to eat his eye out? What is it? Okay, that kind of stuff bothers me. It's not supposed to. I'm supposed to ignore it, I guess, because that's what a lot of people do, because it's really none of our business. See, when we start, talking about fighting poverty over here, now we're overstepping our bounds. That's not what I was talking about. I was just talking about the fact that it's here. It's different than anything you've ever seen, and you're going to have to come up with a way to deal with it, because you can't escape it. But when we talk about, you should do this, do that, now, we need to mind our own business, man. We're overstepping our bounds. Hey, Paul Stanley said, what advancements do you see there in 2030? Well, the infrastructure, certainly. They're building a new airport. It's supposed to be like a super airport. And I want to say it's somebody help me. Where's that new airport? Is that Ilocos Norte, where they're building this unbelievable airport? But yeah, I see their infrastructure getting a whole lot better. I can see that, because remember, the people over here, they're slowly moving toward consumerism. They're spending everything like we spend over there. So you got Elon Musk, you got the Wi-Fi improving. They got 5G here. So yeah, I would say that. That's the biggest thing. But it's just, poverty's everywhere, because when I was looking it up, that's what it said. That's what it said. And believe it or not, that's why I didn't talk about statistics, because They really lie. A country can tell you about their poverty any way they want to tell you. They can, they can break it down and present it to you whichever way they want. And, so when I looked at the numbers, believe it or not, it wasn't that bad. But it's just not what I'm seeing. Thomas Marshall said the poverty was my biggest culture shock. It is. It is. But there's ways you can deal with it. And that's what you have to decide. How am I going to deal with it? And is this going to stop me from living my best life? So millions of people, it doesn't, because they know it's not their responsibility. They're going to do what they can within their space, within their boundaries, within the law and their limits. And that's it, It's just me and my crazy thinking, man. And, I'm starting to loosen up a little bit more on that and realize that, it's not my responsibility and it's nothing for me to feel guilty about. I'm going to continue to help, though, and do what I can. But I'm just not, see, the most of what I do, you never see, guys. Yeah, I do the game show and I do the spin wheel, but that's the tiny bit of it, of what I really do. And that's the part that I've got to slow down on. Not the game show. I'm going to do that tomorrow. And once a week, I do that. And once a week, I do the spin wheel. That's nothing. But it's the stuff you don't see. We give away far too much money, man. Because, I can't pass up people in the street like that. I can tell between, a hustle and need. I can tell the difference. Okay? Because they come up to you with that cup doesn't mean it's need. More like it's a hustle. If they need the need, they're not going to ask. Yeah, okay, yeah. There you go. Have a nice day. He said the new Manila airport is in Bulacan City. Okay. My company is managing it. Yeah. See, that's what's going to advance, Paul. There in 2030, you're going to see a much better infrastructure here. It's improved since I started coming over here in 2009. But let's keep going, okay? We talk about the business. We talk about the safety, our celebrity status. Okay, but at the end of the day, it's the women too. I mean, don't fool yourself. Now, I mean, when you're talking about, all things being equal, you find you're a good woman over here, man, you're going to have a hard time topping that. I mean, you may have better looking women and all that, but the culture dictates the way they treat you. And you just can't go many other places and they're going to treat you as well as they treat you here. Yeah, they look better in Brazil and Colombia and all in places like that, but you're not going to get just the knockdown, drag out treatment that you get over here. You have to get used to it. You have to get used to it. I mean, everybody treats you like, not only is Marilyn, but her mother, all the women over here. Only my mother has treated me better than the way I've been treated over here. Only my mother, and that's real talk, man. When you talk about a lady that thinks she's too good for cheesecake, so what do you think is going to happen when it comes time? Then she's going to think her pussy's made of gold. It's not. That's a lot of frustration. I just won't deal with that anymore. When I know there's another option, there's a solution to that. Just get on the damn plane and go somewhere else. But I'm not going to put up with some ignorant woman like that. Certainly not going to make it front page news. Okay, you don't want to go? Okay, bye. How did that even make it to the news cycle anyway? Now, if you go on YouTube now, it's 100 videos about that. Remember I told you that's how the algorithm works. Now, if you want views, if you are a new channel out there and you're struggling for views, just look and see what everybody else is talking about and do that. I wouldn't really count on that building my channel, but that's just the way the algorithm is now. That's why you see guys doing these reactionary videos and their numbers out of this world. They're following the trends. That lady's a trend right now. Deion Sanders is a trend right now. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift is a trend. It's some trends out here. If you just want to follow them, if you're a follower, see, I'm not a follower. Hey, Cedric Giles, thanks for that super chat. He said, no comment, no question, just the pure love of the game. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that. Yeah, see, I'm not a follower. I don't do that. It's just boring to me. Gives a damn. So no matter how I'm treated over here, I'll take it versus that over there. And no matter how Filipinos think about me, it's not hate. I enjoy freedom here. It's incomparable, man. I'm telling you. I've never experienced it. I'm 60 years old. Yeah, Professor Hayes says, I think she was the one who initially posted a video of her being taken to the chain restaurant. Yeah, so, but I'm saying, so, of course the manosphere jumped on that over there. Now, this is what's wrong with women, the modern women, they call them. Now, she's just an ignorant ass woman is what that is. Here's a man that's going, here he's been working hard all week, his money, he wants to take you out. It's the thought that counts. Whatever happened to that? They got pretty good food. I ate at the cheese factory on the Magnificent Mile, right in front of the John Hancock building, because I stayed right across the street. I want to think the name of that was the White Hotel. Somebody help me with that. But I was right on the Magnificent Mile. One of the companies I was representing, I had training there for 2 weeks. And they put us right on the Magnificent Mile. I was maybe a block up from it. But I ate there. Hell, the food was pretty good to me. I mean, Kevin Hill said, ride the wave, people. Get your passport. People been doing it for a long time. Thomas Marshall said, if you was a follower, you wouldn't have come here. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because everybody told me I was crazy for doing that. Why would you leave America for the Philippines, they said. Because they've never been anywhere. They're drinking the Kool-Aid, and they think, well, this is the only place to go on the planet. People have broke that mold a long time ago. We only represent 4% of the population, man. Even if, America is this big, country and everything, there's only 4% of the people there on the earth. So you're limiting yourself. What you're looking for, I can almost guarantee you, is probably out here somewhere. The business opportunity, whatever you're looking for, more than likely, I would say it's out here. If you can't find it where you are. I mean, the numbers don't lie. It just, it says, okay, it's 400 million there, but there's 7.5 billion more out here. What's up, 53 Shades Darker? I saw where you was eating that balut, man. What does that taste like? Yeah, Craig Anthony says she should have been happy to be with the man, not where he's taking you. Yeah, see, this is what I don't like. So imagine if she's acting silly like that. What happens when your love comes down? You ready for some action? Not tonight and all that. That's all you want. And yeah, I'm a man. I mean, I'm that's human. That's all I want. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you, man. And My wife that I was married to for 18 years, my American wife over there. Before we broke up, man, that's what she would throw at me all the time. That's all I want. Like, look, we've been together 14 years or whatever it was, 16, because the last 2 years it didn't count. But she would always pull that out every now and then and throw that in my face. All I want is sex. You gonna tell me I've been hanging around you for 16 years and we went through all that we went through, and that's the best you can do? Is tell me that that's all I want is sex? There you go. Have a nice day. He says the poor people in the Philippines knew why these vloggers are filming in their villages. There would be a lot of dead vloggers. But I don't know what you're saying. I don't. I don't exploit anybody. That's why you don't see me with my camera all up in somebody's face. That game is different. Y'all don't realize I'm out there with a sign. I got a sign that I made that I hold up. It's got game show on it. Are you smarter than a grade 5 student? Went up to 1,000 pesos. And they come up to me. But I don't exploit anybody. You got to be careful walking up in these places. I saw one. God knows he don't like black people, but he's up in a Ada village, for views. And I'm like, man, that's exploitation to me. But I'm not knocking him. Yeah, she said not tonight, and I said I got to catch a flight. Yeah, see, who wants to put up with that when you're 60 years old, you don't know how much time you got left. This is the fourth quarter, guys. I don't care what you say. You're gonna be dead a long time. You're gonna be dead forever, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, imagine if people when's the last time anybody seen Christopher Columbus? These people really lived, everybody. Magellan and all the people, they really lived 500 years ago. Okay? They're dead. And they've been dead for 500 years. So you better live your life right now, because remember, time's not running out, but your life is. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, this is the way you can look at it. Kevin here said, Calvin, you're documenting your life, digital video autobiography. I love it. And a lot of people look at it like that. But I'm not going to stick that camera in people's face. I've been meeting a lot of younger women, just from being Sunshine Shoulders. They see the game show and stuff like that. Well, it's in the works right now. I'm making a video, and I'm asking them, just some simple questions, because it's, a lot of guys are coming over here now. They're dating these really young women. And I want to know, is it a novelty or is it real love, really? But the name of the video is going to be the novelty of it all. And I'm going to be talking to these young stunners and be like, why do you think young men here in the Philippines are attracted to you, but older men in America and the West are attracted to you? See, I want to do a video like that, but it's not going to be exploiting anybody. But there's something that's been going on a long time. I don't think people have really looked at it. We call it the age gap, or whatever it is. But it's more to it than that. For a 60-year-old man to come over here and want to date a 21-year-old, it's more than the age gap. And that's just how I am. I just want to find out what's going on with that. Is it the novelty? Because it really was the novelty with me. I had no business fooling with that woman. I had a woman here that loved me or do anything for me, but for me, it was the novelty. It was right there in my face. It's like, I'm going to try it just to see, and it blew up in my face. George Manning said, you're correct. He couldn't tell an Ada from a Filipino. We reincarnate. Oh, okay. Is that what you believe? Oh, you talking about the guys that walk through the poor areas of Manila, ask these people if they can film inside their home. They are ticking time bomb. Yeah. See, that will, because here's what a lot of people don't realize. As happy as the Filipino people are, and as welcoming as they are, and as friendly as they are, do you realize that they've got the highest stress level in all of Asia? Filipinos do. And you can understand why when you're over here for so long, trying to make ends meet. Some people over here just dealing with some just tough circumstances. And you're right, it's a ticking time bomb. They may be the straw that breaks the camel's back. I just wouldn't do it. I mean, you got to respect people, I mean, what are you going to get out of that anyway? That's that poverty porn that I talked about a long time ago. I mean, that's nothing to show anybody, really. They've got enough documentaries, real documentaries on YouTube where you can see that all day long if you want to. It's not my job to do it. I'm not going to do it. Paul Stanley, thanks for the super chat. He said, tell us about the first time you used the toilet there and there was no tissue. What went through your head at that time? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I was in a little place called Lewigan because my first 2 weeks in the Philippines, I stayed on a resort. It was called Tamboli Beach Resort. So, it was none of that. But then my second trip over here, when I met the young lady who was 22, turned out to be 18, we went to her village. She went to her province, Lewigan, beautiful place. But I mean, it's the first time I saw that little basin just sitting there and nothing else around. And, to be honest with you, it may sound stupid. I just took the soap that was in there and wiped my butt with it. And then rinse my hands and rinse the soap ball off. That's how I was able to wipe my behind. Because I don't know how to use that bucket. Not for turds. Not for, it's not a clean, when it comes out, it's not a clean, drop and that's it. It's always something left around. You can't just pull your drawers up and keep going. But, that wasn't the craziest thing. The craziest thing was I went to Davao del Norte and with this woman, I didn't fool with her. I was, but then, the more we were talking and stuff, the more disinterested I became. I didn't want to deal with it. But anyway, we were at her house. Her mother and them had cooked food and stuff. And then all of a sudden, man, I had to use the bathroom. So I go in the bathroom, and it's just some porcelain with a hole in the ground. And I had never seen anything like that before. I didn't know I'm supposed to squat and use the toilet. I take off all my clothes and I just lay flat on my back with my butt hole over the hole and used it, man. It was the craziest thing I've ever experienced. Because I'm telling you, man, I'm just not used to that. I didn't know that, I'm supposed to sit there and squat. But yeah, you see stuff like that. Yeah, he said the innocence, basically the freshness of the soul of younger women, their flesh often looks better also. Yeah, it does. It's all of that really, because that's what this young woman had. Because I never went there I wouldn't have never looked at her twice till she started telling me her story. And I'm just sitting there looking at her like, this woman's actually just handing herself to me. basically, and the more I looked at it, the more tempting it became, and I ended up, falling for that. But it was all about what you were saying. You know, the Real CP show said the age gap game is also anti-male. However, women date younger, legal age ones, but barely a peep when they do it. Yeah, you're right about that. They always put that on us. But you're talking about when older women marry or deal with younger men, the cougars, they call them. But what I don't like is, because I've been over here and I know that men aren't taking advantage of these women. They really aren't taking advantage of these women. These women know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're getting into. They only look innocent like that, man. There's a young lady that works out with us at the gym, and I would have never suspected that she has the experience with foreign men that she has. I mean, I was really shocked. And she's playing, she's juggling them, man. She knows what she's doing. It's just that when we look at it, it just seems so strange. But I never paid any attention. I guess because I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention now. I'm seeing it. I see it just about once a day now. When I hardly ever saw it unless I went to Cebu or one of those places, the Dumaguete, Manila. You see it here now. I've seen it just this week, 2 times this week in San Carlos. And of course, I got a buddy Rodney here. He's 75. His girlfriend, I think, is 23. But what I like about Rodney is he doesn't seem, it doesn't seem to bother him. He doesn't, what I want to say, the attention that him and his girlfriend attract doesn't seem to bother him. Because when I first saw him, okay, we were eating in Malwani one time. I had some more subscribers. We went to eat, and he was there. And when they were leaving, he's like, "Aren't you Sunshine Shoulders, blah, blah, blah. Can I take a picture with you?" I said, "Okay." So we go out in the lobby, and it's me, him, and his girlfriend. And, I didn't know at the time how young she was, but he just seemed so happy, like it was normal. And, that's why I never paid it any attention. But I see it all the time now, and I don't know, when guys talking about, well, I don't want a woman with children. Well, that'd be the way to go then. I don't want a woman with a whole lot of past. Then that will be the way to go then, as long as they're grown. And what I mean by that is mature, because some of these young women, man, they'll drive you crazy with their immaturity. You couldn't deal with it. You couldn't deal with it. You think you can, but you can't deal with it. But that would be the way to go if that bothers you. See, I just don't think whether a woman has any children or not should define who she is. You don't have to be, you don't have to play father, because there's a difference. The big difference people never talk about with single mothers here is they're going to wall you off from the kids anyway. You're not going to have any real say so or anything like that with their kids. They're going to handle that. Of course, you got to feed them and all that, but you don't have to play father. And let me say this too, before I forget. 100 times out of 100 times, I've been coming over here for almost 15 years. I've never heard a foreigner that had any problems with his Filipino children. Not one time. It's always the opposite. They'll bond real good. I've never had, somebody, "Oh, you're not my father," and they didn't get along with the foreigner. Now remember, I've been coming over for 15 years. I've had Sunshine Shoulders for 3 years. I get all kind of messages and everything. No one's ever came to me with that problem. And I've never had the problem. So, you know, when you're talking about, well, I don't want to deal with a single mother because you think dealing with a single mother over here is going to be like over there, the child problems and all that, the baby daddy problems. It's different, man. And it depends on the woman. Okay, remember it's not a coincidence that I was just talking about it. And then I run across a video by Andrew Tate's brother. So I put it on my community page where he was talking about, yeah, a lot of you guys, you're lying about not dating single women. But you would date these Instagram models that had 35, 40 bodies. And then you run across a beautiful, innocent, intelligent woman who's just been with a no good man. Okay, and then all of a sudden he leaves, and now you're gonna knock the woman for it. That's bullshit. And that's just the way I look at it. Some of these women over here are so beautiful. You're lying if you say, I don't want to. Well, okay. Just like TJ said the other day, you're going to tell me you're going to turn down some of these 20-somethings. He's fine at 20-somethings because they got a kid. Well, go ahead. That's more for the guy who's not that petty. Because you don't have to play father over here. You don't have to play daddy over here. Yeah, Andrew, see, this is different. He said, I think people are scared because single mothers in the West are such a train wreck. It's not the same here. It's not. That's what I'm saying. It's not the same. But we think it's the same. We think everything works the same way around the world as it does at home, but it doesn't. I'm not telling you to go out. I'm just saying that you're going to pass up a woman that's going to check every box. Look at Martin. He said, man, I went through 50 women. He said, I finally found one who checks all the boxes. He said, yeah, she was a nasty drunk when she got drunk, but she had a child. Okay, she had one child, one little daughter that he ended up bonding with and basically adopted the little girl. But I've never heard one foreigner ever have a problem with his girlfriend or his wife's children. It's always been the opposite. And, I just think that says a lot because, okay, Marilyn has brilliant children, her 2 children, okay? They never give me a problem. The 9-year-old's been calling me dad since I met her, when she was just turned 5 years old. She's 9 now, about ready to turn 10. The 17-year-old, getting ready to turn 18, she calls me uncle. Okay, never have a problem with them, but I don't have to discipline them. Marilyn does all that. She sealed all that off. There's no reason for me to have to play daddy to them. Marilyn does all that. Okay, yeah, we live in the same house, so they're going to eat. They're going to have a nice clothes. They're going to have a nice place to stay. I'm not going to mistreat them, but I've never heard a foreigner. And if you have, just put it in the comments. I'll put it over here if you had a problem. I've never run across that. Not one time. Bob Newhart says, I personally like me a single mother. They're fully experienced in all departments. I don't have no time to be trying to teach no young 21-year-old facts of life. See, and some people look at it like that. I'm just not, my mother was a single mother. And the fact that my father left was, it had a lot more to do with his character or lack of than my mother. There was no knock on my mother. I've got children of my own. Imagine if women felt that same way, which a lot of them do. They don't want to date a man. Even over here, they'll tell you, I don't want a man that's been married. I don't want a man with any children. Well, basically they're saying, a lot of their prospects are going to be shot, basically. But they'll say it. Yeah, he says kids are way cheaper to take care of in the Philippines. It is. I mean, there's no way I would have passed up Marilyn or threw her back in because she had 2 kids. It wasn't no big deal to me because, it's not all that to me. I mean, Because what eventually going to happen is you're going to end up making a single mother. You know, all marriages don't work. I mean, y'all in some kind of dream world. Yeah, you get attached to the kid and break up. That was something. Okay, but remember I was telling you about my ex, my son's mother. His brother, I never raised him, but I was around him, right, enough. He saw what I was doing for their family. When my son was there, I took care of everybody. And he has the greatest respect for me. Never, you know, it's just like I'm his father too, really. And I've never raised him. Okay. I was only with him for 2 years. But he knows he's not, see, he's appreciative of what I did for his family. And he's still there, you know. If I go to America and go to North Carolina, it'd just be like nothing ever changed. You're going to get attached to the kids. I mean, you know, that's going to happen. But I've just never seen foreigners have problems over here with the children. No one's ever, it's never came across my plate. In all the years I've been here, I've never heard of it. I just never have. He said, I think we're much harder on our children in the States. We don't tolerate disrespect from children, especially to their mother. Yeah, and I think there's a lot more respect going on over here. Remember, this is an old-fashioned place. There's culture here. You know, with all of this and all that, you don't see sagging pants. You know, you don't see the kids talking back. I'm pretty sure it happens. Okay, but I don't see it. They wasn't like me, you know, hell, when I was 16, you know, when my mother say something to me I didn't like, we're going back and forth, you know, because my mother stopped whooping us at 10. Up to 10, you say the wrong thing, you're going to get slapped in the mouth or whatever. But after that, I guess she figured, well, I've taught them everything I need to teach them. Hey, Lucan Mindful Moments said, keep up sharing your personal experience in the Philippines. I don't see issues with single mothers. The problem comes when they are still attached to the baby daddy or they are not ready to settle down. Yeah, and that could be, you know, with a single, I mean, with a woman with no children, if they're not ready to settle down. I'm just saying, you know, it's like hip now. You know, I don't want a single mother, and I don't buy that. I'm from the old school. But yeah, this age gap thing, a lot of these guys are coming over here because they see it. And I've never was as up close to it because, you know, when I was in my 40s, I was dealing with women in their 20s, but I was 45 and 24. I wasn't 60 and 20. And I'm not knocking anybody. I'm just saying that you see it now, you're seeing it now, and it's like, is it a novelty? I think it is. I think guys have always wanted that in their country. They can't get it, but now they see, hey, it's acceptable over there. Well, it's really tolerated, not really acceptable. And they say, I want to try that. And they do, and they come over here. But they're dealing with a different 20, 21, 22-year-old woman. She's not the typical 20, 21, 22-year-old woman over here. The women that you're dealing with over here, they got game. They got some street knowledge about themselves. They're a little rough around the edges than the typical women that you see out here going to college. I talked about that before. I see the difference. I'm talking about almost to a man. When you see them, you know, the women that they may be 20 or 22 or something like that, but they know their way around. Okay. It's not like the naive 22-year-old that's a senior in college right now, never been anywhere, still with the parents, you know, never did anything wrong because they're over here. Virgin, more than likely. We're dealing with a different 22-year-old. They're rough around the edges. Yeah, they're young, they're soft, they're tender, but they're rough around the edges. So just remember that when you come over here. He said they should be attached. Well, see, now we're shooting on everybody. You know, masturbating. That's what the psychologist said. When we come to places like this, we're masturbating and shooting on the population. You know, he says they should. And I'm going to tell anybody what they should do. He said they should be attached to the baby's father. Stop being selfish and think about the kid. Also, maybe your fellow man. Yeah, I'm not defending one side. I'm just saying that I'm just telling you what I like. You know, I just want a good woman, man. You know, the fact that she may have made a mistake. I don't know both sides of the story anyway. I'm gonna have to take what she says to be the truth anyway. I'm gonna have to believe what I want to believe anyway. But I'm not that petty, man. I don't need a perfect woman because I'm not a perfect man. Frank Ellis says I could never date a 20-year-old. She has to be 25 and up. It's too cringy for me. Yeah. And everybody has their own preference. I'm just saying that I think it's become a novelty because you see it more and more, a good guy, and they don't seem cringy because I don't know why, but, Kevin from Too Much Time on My Hands, I think he's 57 and I know his girlfriend's like 19. We met them in Doom. It doesn't seem cringy to me. I don't know why. He goes with she's half black. I think her father's from Ghana or Nigeria somewhere. And the mother's Filipino. Of course, he's a white guy and he's 57, she's 19. And, when we were on the ferry, they didn't get a whole lot of looks. But, it didn't seem cringy to me. Now, some of them I've seen, they cringy. But his wasn't. I don't know, maybe because she's so tall. I think she's like 5'8" or something. She's tall. And it had something to do with it. But you look at her in the face, she looks 19. The Global Vagabond said at least 22 dead in mass shooting today. A single mother, age gaps are minor issues compared to crazy stuff going on in the USA. Thank you. I said that earlier in the live stream, and you're exactly right. I said it. I said, no matter what I have to deal with over here, it's not over there, man. I'll take it over here. My heart goes out to the victims and their families. I mean, it just seems like every other month we're on here saying that. I mean, what's it going to take for that to stop? You can't get rid of all the guns. We got to start dealing with the people. Al Rogan said, if you want to be a daddy and a lover, go ahead. Just weird to me. I have a problem with the maturity. I don't have a problem with the age. Because when you come over here, you're going to see that. I remember I did Filipino years. I did a video about Filipino years. Filipinos are older than the typical woman in the West. By about 7 years, really. When a Filipino's 18, she's like a 25-year-old in America, maybe even older, because they get started earlier. Cooking, cleaning, watching the kids, washing the clothes. They're doing all that, being responsible for the household early. Marilyn was like 11 when she started. So it's not really the age, it's the maturity. Now the maturity, you can see it, and that's cringy to me. The age is not cringy to me. But when you see them, with all that old giggling and Yeah, see, this is what he's talking about right here. This is exactly what I'm talking about, Andrew. He said under 25 in Australia feels like you're talking to a kid. Here they on the ball, they're not useless. Yeah, see, that's what I just said. In the West, a 25-year-old is like a baby. I've got a 20-year-old daughter. It's like I can't even deal with her on Facebook, let alone, trying to date somebody like that. It would drive me crazy. He said, anyone been to the chat in the vibe? So the hold its own compared to other popular cities throughout the islands? Can you compare it to other places, or is it unique in its own right? Well, I can say this. I've been to Davao twice. Davao was Dumaguete before Dumaguete was. Okay, this is where everybody was going because it's so clean and so safe. All the articles, the same type of article that put Davao on the map, put Dumaguete on the map. But it's just bigger. It's like in land wise, it's the biggest city in the Philippines. But it's not Cebu and it's not Manila. But it's got a big expat community. It's clean and safe. And like I said, it was the number one choice of expats retiring from the West at one when I started coming over here. A good friend of mine, he's there now. He lives in America, but they come back and forth. They own a house here in Davao. He's the one told me about it in 2009. He bought him a house there around 2010 or 2011. But yeah, it's a nice place to go. But even if you don't like Davao, what people don't talk about is General Santos City. This is the sleeper in all this, guys. Just go there for a weekend or something when you come here, because you can fly to just about anywhere from Manila or Cebu. Cebu to General Santos is only about 35 or 40 minutes. I made the flight before. Go there. People never talk about General Santos. It's a sleeper, guys. You'll like it there. And the farther south you go, the women start getting shapely, man. Down there in Mindanao. That's where Manny Pacquiao's from. But I challenge you to check General Santos out. I've only met one guy. He was from Australia. He came here to my house. We just had lunch. He was driving his car, him and his wife, because they were looking around San Carlos as a potential place to settle, because they were in Dumaguete, but he came from General Santos, and he said, Calvin, I made the biggest mistake of my life. I said, what? He said, I moved from General Santos to Dumaguete. He said, because he's looking at these vlogs and stuff, he's thinking that Dumaguete was better. He said, no. He said, General Santos is, in his opinion, it was the most livable city in the Philippines. And I can second that the couple of times I've been there. It's really a nice place, but no one ever talks about it. No one ever goes there. And it's kind of shocking to me that you don't run across more people in my comments, in my live streams, that's been, that's dealing with a woman there, relocating there. Hey, Robert, he says, all the old sages taught that the children come with additional help and don't be afraid to build a family. It all equalizes out. Even the neighborhood friends were welcome at our table, no problem. Yeah, that's how I was raised too, Robert. Our house, because we had so many children, my mother had 9 children. Our house was always the favorite house on the block because my mother was liberal. They knew that they could probably go in our backyard and drink and get high. My mother wasn't going to say anything. He says, I'm about 36 and up. Yeah. I'm not going to go. Well, like I said, I think because she's tall, It just didn't seem cringy to me. Remember, these women are grown, man. These are grown women. These aren't 20-year-olds in America. I think this is what goes in our heads when we see, because you got to understand, okay, watch any documentary or just go to one of these bars, any bars you go to. A lot of them women, man, are young like that. And, I would rather see them out here in a real relationship than stuck off in one of them bars somewhere with no future at all. I don't really see it as cringy. I just see it as cringy when you see the woman acting immature, all that old giggling and stuff, and you can just see it in their face, their expressions, whether they're everything's funny, they're never serious. It's all about their phone, you know, and then they're always asking. See, that's the immaturity part that's going to kick in. They're always wanting something. They're always asking. Yeah, yeah, but I'm just saying about these single mothers. I just never saw um, the reputation as it is today. It's like they've got leopard. It's like they're lepers or something. I'm like, man, are you crazy? I said, I think you guys are just talking shit for real because it depends on the woman, man. A lot of these Instagram women are single mothers, man. You're not passing them up. You're just saying that because it's the hip thing to say. A lot of you guys are saying that in public and behind closed doors. You probably with a single mother or a woman with children, really what I call them. Hey, Vlog in Vain, thank you for dropping by. This guy's got a growing channel. It may already be done grown. He gets a lot of views. And he deals with, and you want to see some stunners, you go on his channel. If y'all want to see some stunners, it says like that's all he interviews. He said, sounds like the U.S. Congress. He said, if a woman can't put her phone down, she's not for me. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, see, Frank L said, don't sleep on General Santos. I heard nothing but good things about that place. I'm telling you from experience, it's a nice place, man. And then if you go like 45 minutes to an hour south, it's a little place called Gland. Man, thank me now. It's the southernmost tip in the Philippines. This place is just beautiful. I had the whole beach one time by myself, me and my wife. It was, before we were married. We were still like, dating. I took her on her birthday. I took her to Davao and General Santos. She was from St. Carlos, Zamboanga. And man, we got there on a Thursday and nobody was there. I'm talking about, it was like a 1 kilometer stretch of beach. We were the only ones there. Now, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, everybody, start coming. It was beautiful, man. I'm talking about, the beach is on the level of a Boracay. Yeah, but that Blog in Vain, he came out of nowhere. He wasn't coming across my feed before, but now he's everywhere. And I've never seen him interview an ugly woman. But yeah, General Santos is good. Go there, guys. You won't regret it, man. It's something different. Yeah. He said, wow, General Santos. He said, yeah, I found Duma so livable. It ruined Bahal for me. How good Duma was. Yeah. I like Dumageddon too. I mean, He said General Santos having a hard time shaking their history of bombing. Yeah, but it's not really General Santos. It's right around there. Like, remember North Cotabato and South Cotabato. And then you got that other little enclave. I can't think of the name of this place, where they get a lot of them bus bombings and stuff, right? But General Santos really isn't that bad. But you're right. North Cotabato and South Cotabato. Now, South Cotabato is okay, but North Cotabato, they still got a lot of, fighting going on, tribal warfare. It's tribes, man, over here in the Philippines. People have been, you know, uh, when the Spanish came here and messed up everything like that, they split it all up, and people lost their land and everything like that. And but anyway, it's a lot of tribal warfare going on, and you may get caught up in it if you're in North Cotabato, which is like 30 or 45 minutes from General Santos. But General Santos is nice, man. I'm just saying, just go down there for a weekend just to check it out and say, okay, let me see what it's about. And you're talking about a cheaper cost of living. The nicest not Airbnb, pension house I've ever stayed in all the Philippines, all my years, was in General Santos, and was $10 per night. If you don't think I'm playing, ask my wife. $10 a night. It had everything, hot and cold, aircon, cable, Wi-Fi, and real bed. And right below it was the restaurant. It was $10 a night, 500 pesos at that time per night. I just enjoy, it's part of my expat alley. I always mention it, but no one ever goes there. I never see anybody that says, oh, yeah, I live in General Santos, my girlfriend's from there, or whatever. Othello said, I was married to a woman with 2 kids. I'll never do that again. They were the stepchildren from hell. They reminded me every day I was unwelcome to be there, despite I gave never again. Now, was that here in the Philippines or where? I can't, I've never heard of that happening here in the Philippines. And there's always a first time, but I've never heard of that. He said even Curly prefers single mom. I'm just saying, I just don't, I'm just not going to pass. There's no way I would have passed Marilyn up. I threw her back in because she had children. It never occurred to me, man. And I'm so glad that I did. I'm so glad I wasn't that shallow, but that doesn't mean anything. If I'm a young guy, if I'm in my 30s, 40s, I don't have any children, anything like that. I get it, man. But if I've got children of my own, so that means I've created a single mother somewhere. And then I'm going to come over here and say, oh, I don't want a woman with children. I'm a hypocrite. Patrick BlackRock P Money says, I'm sitting here with a young Filipino and she agrees with me in what you're saying. But thank you. He said, I agree with you that giggling when it comes to Filipinos, it's a big turnoff. It is. And this is what I'm going to tell you, because a lot of guys say, oh, I want to bring the sister along on a date. Or I want to bring the friends along on a date. Don't do that, man. I made that mistake. Oh, man, you don't ever want to do that. Because now they're laughing and giggling over here. You can't understand the language. You don't know if they're talking about you. You feel so uncomfortable. Don't do it. It's got to be one-on-one. I'm sorry, ma'am. But no, if you don't trust me enough, that's why we'll have our first date. If you don't trust me enough, let's have our first date in an open place, the mall, somewhere like that. Let's get to know each other that way. But I don't want your friends coming along. I don't want your family coming along, because it's going to be a disaster. You're going to be uncomfortable. I hated it, man. Here I am. I'm spending all my hard-earned money. We're at the Greenwich down in Zamboanga, and they just over there snickling and and laughing. 2 old maids. Neither one of them had anybody, but they're jealous of my wife, basically. So they're just gonna make us feel as uncomfortable as they possibly can. I've never forgiven them for that either, by the way, because it was uncalled for. And it was the last time ever, because they all were with my wife when she met me at the airport. I mean, we had already known each other. I'm like, when I land, I'm coming from Cebu. I land at Zamboanga. I get off the plane, and it's like 4 or 5 of them sitting there waiting. I'm like, I looked at her like, what's your problem? You crazy? You bring all these women with me. And she claimed, oh, well, they wouldn't take no for an answer. So we go to the mall, and we go to the pizza place. Oh, my God. Oh, it made me so mad. Oh, yeah, yeah. Do I have to explain this logic? Okay. John, he said, single mothers are okay to you. Okay, but because I don't see a difference between a woman with children and a woman without. It doesn't mean the woman without is any better, any more educated, or anything like that. I'm saying a woman, whether she has children or not, it shouldn't define who she is. He said, but not women who have dated a foreigner before. That's a whole different ball game, man. Okay? It's because foreigners, first of all, we're coming from outside the culture. Okay? We're nasty, we're ornery. Okay? We're going to test the woman. We're going to test her boundaries. We're going to test her limits, if you know what I'm saying. Okay? They're going to bend over backwards for the foreigner. They're going to do things they never dreamed of doing. Now, if you want to go behind that, then go ahead. Filipinos, they love hard. They love you, and they're going to prove their love every single day. Okay, now if the foreigner runs off, he breaks her heart, it's going to take her years to ever get over him. You're going to pay for everything he did or didn't do. And every time you take her somewhere, in her mind, she's already been there before. She's not going to be having a good time. She's going to have that long face because it's going to remind her of him and the times they had together, John. Okay, it has nothing to do with whether a woman has children or not. What's that have to do with anything? I don't understand it. That shouldn't define a woman, but I mean, if that's all the qualities or characteristics that you're looking for in a woman, whether she has a child or not, I can't help you. If that's all the qualifications, long as she doesn't have a child, I mean, yeah, but that's a totally different ball game there. Yeah, you got to decline that. Yeah, that's a rookie mistake. But I was ambushed in Zamboanga. She knew, because, okay, here's the thing. They hung out with us for the whole single day. Don't you know? Okay, so then we ended up going out later that night they had a nightclub. It's called Alejandro's. It's closed now. Live music, and we're really having a good time. Don't you know they wanted to go back to the hotel with us? Yeah, right. You'll take your ass home. I paid for them a taxi home. Y'all going too far now, because here come my girlfriend at the time talking about, yeah. I'm like, what y'all talking about? They said, is it okay if they slip on the floor? Absolutely not. Here, take this money and get you a damn cab home. But at that time it was a tricycle. Yeah, he said you don't know what the hell they're saying. Yeah, it's uncomfortable, man. You don't want that. But he's talking about the difference between a single mother and a woman that's been with a foreigner. Give me the single mother every single day, twice on Sunday, because you don't understand. When you get over here, you're going to see some of these foreigners over here, and you're going to say, do I want to go behind him? I want to deal with this woman now that she done dealt with him. But y'all won't listen. You think, oh, that's being shallow. Okay, that's what you think, because you don't know the dynamics of these foreign or Filipino relationships. It's not like the Filipino man and the Filipino woman. It's probably a missionary every night. It's nothing else. you know, we're going to turn them out. We're going to turn them out. Well, let me speak for myself. I'm going to turn them out. Okay. So you want to come behind me, it's up to you. You know, at least she'll be broke in, but I don't want that. You know, he says you can't judge a single mother. Do they judge us for having children? Yeah, it's a double standard, I would say. No, yeah, yeah. I just never forgive them. But like he says, a rookie mistake. It's not a rookie mistake on my part because I already know you don't do that. Because now you're paying for 4 people instead of 2, or however many. Well, it was. She actually had 2 of her friends and her 2 sisters with her. There's like 5 of them, but the sisters wasn't. They already knew me. They wasn't doing all that. It was her 2 friends who had never seen me before. And here's what happened. Okay, one of them ended up marrying the other one's boyfriend. That's how cringy they were, and how they had no man. They're trying to ask my wife, how did she meet me? They're trying to meet a foreigner, but they didn't have what it takes. So they're gonna make her. They're gonna make our date miserable as hell. So don't do it. You tell the woman, look, okay, we'll meet at whatever. But if you until you feel comfortable with me, but don't bring along no friends and all that. Gerald Stillfuck says, I've heard of first dates where the Filipino brought a friend or even a sister or cousin and things turned out well. Turns out they were shy and afraid of meeting the foreigner alone. Didn't Mark say this? Well, see, it just, when you're talking about if you land in the hotel, in the airport and she's there with somebody, what are you going to do? Okay. But I guarantee you, whoever said this, they're not telling you the whole story. They're sitting there talking back and forth. They're talking about him. He has no idea what they're saying. So he's lying. Unless he knows Bisaya or Tagalog, he knows it front was and back was. They're talking about you. Okay, if a foreigner and his girlfriend came right now to visit me here, and they say, hey, let's, I want to take you and Marilyn out to Mawani. Okay. I'm sitting here, Marilyn's sitting here, his girlfriend's sitting here, he's sitting there. They're talking about us the whole time. We don't know what they're saying, but trust me, they're talking about us. She's asking her, well, how does he treat you? And how does he treat you? How did y'all meet? They're doing all of that. So imagine you're there by yourself and you got your girlfriend and then she got her sister or whoever it is. Okay, and then, what are you going to do after that? What if it's time to, tuck her in for the night? Well, you're going to do it like my buddy from South Carolina did? Put the 2 sisters up in a expensive hotel. He paid 9,000 pesos a night for that? Ridiculous. Yeah, they had never stayed in a hotel before, by the way. That was her first time ever staying in a hotel, and he puts them up at 9,000 pesos a night. That's a rookie mistake. You don't want to do that. Yeah, so yeah, anything can turn out okay. Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, good luck to the next guy. I'm just saying, I wouldn't want to deal with. You can do whatever you want to do. I'll just give you suggestions. I'm trying to put you into the mind of what's going on over here. These women love hard. If they think they've got a good man, they will walk through fire for you. Okay, this is what I'm saying about the advantages of moving over here. It's women. One of them is women at the end of the day. No matter what you hear about them, the games they play and all they want money and this and that. Yeah, all that's true. But once they start loving you and they're into you, there's nothing they're not going to do. This is what puts them up way up there above a lot of other people. This is what makes people come all the way 8,000 miles to meet a woman who comes from a different culture, maybe has less of an education, certainly less money, because they're going to get that A1 treatment. Okay, the Filipinos do it in their sleep. Okay, so why would you want to follow that? I wouldn't. I wouldn't. And they don't want it either, really. It's just that they don't have the bargaining chips that we have. They really don't want a man like me who's been with a Filipino before. They don't want that. They want a fresh guy just like you want a fresh woman. Think I'm lying? Ask them. They'll tell you. That's one of the first things they're going to ask you anyway. Have you ever dated a Filipino? Have you ever been with a Filipino before? Have you been to the Philippines before? And if you say yes to any of that, your shine, it's dull. It gets dull and dull and dull, all the yeses you say, because you don't shine any brighter than the first time you come here. That's when you at your best. It's nothing like the first time here in the Philippines. But you don't have to believe me. I would rather take a Filipina who's been courted by a Filipino man. More likely it's just a missionary. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. He can't take her anywhere. She's never been anywhere because they're both working hard, trying to make ends meet. So now when they break up and you come, it's a totally different experience. You go to Boracay and it knocks her socks off, or Panglao Bahal, or Palawan, or something like that. You can see the wonder in her face. You can't deny it. You can't mistake that look of wonder. It's going to be there. But if you take her there and she's not moved, it doesn't move her, then that's a red flag. Or she gets down there and she can eat you up with the best of them. And you're like, where'd you learn how to do this from? That's a red flag. But yeah, thank y'all so much, guys. I got to get off here because we'll be going to the gym. I'm going to make it 2 days in a row today because I wasn't able to do some exercises yesterday that I need to do today. But thank y'all for your super chat, super stickers, all your thumbs up, all your support for Sunshine Shoulders. Yeah, man, no matter what you hear about the Philippines, it's still advantages, man, of coming here. Why millions of people come here every year. No matter what you hear about people say, I'm going to give you the 360. But I don't need to hype the Philippines up. It is what it is. It speaks for itself. I talk about what's going on around me, though. And I don't see any point in criticizing the place too harshly because everything I've seen here in the Philippines, I've seen everywhere else I've been. But when it comes to women, our safety, there's some business opportunities over here, guys, if that's what you're looking for. I'm a celebrity over here. I'm talking about I enjoy freedom here that it's incomparable. I can't even compare it to anything else. Okay, they rolled out the brightest red carpet for me, and that's why I'm still here. It's like I'm still in a fantasy. I'm still in my dream. If I go home and it's going to be nice to see my kids and grandkids and my friends, that first day I wake up, I'm going to be sick because I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be there. And everything I enjoy over here is not going to be there. So take care, everybody. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. I'll see y'all next time.